Hello, my name is Alicia Gavan. I study communication science at Complutense University in Spain, but I'm here as Erasmus student.
Hi, my name is Sarah Trevor. I'm from the U.S. and I study at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign. I'm a speech and hearing science major with a concentration in speech pathology.
Hello, my name is Agnieszka Herowicz. I'm from Poland and I study English literature and the history of art at the Catholic University of Lublin.
Today we will be discussing on Orson Welles' film The Trial. We will debate about whether the film is an example of author cinema and talk about the spatial issues that appears in the film. This is a cartoon that plays at the beginning of the film, and it summarizes the meaning of the film and serves as a basic example of the kind of space that Wells want to solve.
Before the law, there stands a God. A man comes from the country begging admittance to the law. But the God cannot admit him. Can he hope to enter at a later time? That is possible, says the God. The man tries to peer through the entrance. He had been taught that the law should be accessible to every man. Do not attempt to enter without my permission, says the God. I am very powerful, yet I am the least of all the gods. From hall to hall, door after door, each god is more powerful than the last. By the god's permission, the man sits down by the side of the door, and there he waits. For years, he waits. Everything he has, he gives away in the hope of bribing the god, who never fails to say to him, I take what you give me, only so that you will not feel that you have left something undone. Keeping his watch during the long years, the man has learned to know even the fleas in the god's fur collar. And growing childish in old age, he begs the very fleas to persuade the god to change his mind and allow him to enter. His sight is dimmed, but in the darkness he perceives a radiance streaming immortally from the door of the law. And now, before he dies, all his experience condenses into one question, a question he has never asked. He beckons to the god. Says the god, you are insatiable. What is it now? Says the man, every man strives to attain the law. How is it then that in all these years, no one else has ever come here seeking admittance? His hearing has failed, so the guard yells into his ear, no one else but you could ever have obtained admittance. No one else could enter this door. This door was intended only for you. And now, I am going to close it. This tale is told during the story called The Trial. It has been said that the logic of this story is the logic of a dream, of a nightmare.
Adaptation of Franz Kafka's novel, The Trial. The 1960s was an important era for film. The time when the movie was presented was the most interesting to show the existentialism as a progressive wave of thought. Wells chose to adapt Kafka's novel because Kafka was representative of this wave. The film revolves around Mr. K, a man who has been accused of a crime that he does not know. No one can tell him what he has done wrong. He tries to rebel against the absurdity of the situation and fight for his freedom. Mr. K ends up accusing himself and is killed at the end of the film because he cannot fight the system any longer.
The way that Wells uses space is very interesting. Throughout the film, space is constantly changing. It plays with the dialectic relation of closed and open spaces. Some rooms are extremely large and spacious, whereas others are very tiny and cramped. In the first scene of the film, Wells breaks the cinema rule by keeping the ceiling in the shot. It produces a claustrophobic effect and causes a sense of visual distortion. The film was shot with the camera positioned slightly below waist height to give it this effect. It seems as if Mr. K is already imprisoned.
The claustrophobic effect is also carried out in small rooms and staircases that are in the film. It creates a sense of uneasy in the viewer. This is an example of a very wide and spacious room that will be seen in the film. Mr. K does a lot of running and he often runs in and out many different rooms of changing size. The interior tends to be different from the exterior. In regards to the architecture in the film, all of the buildings look very futuristic. They are very tall and overwhelming.
We have come to the conclusion that The Trial is an example of auteur cinema because we can recognize Wells's personal touch in the adaptation of Kafka's novel. In this short presentation, we have discussed the spatial issues in The Trial and decided that film is an example of auteur cinema. Thank you for watching our video.
We
Accuse you of being guilty.